Big C.
Welcome. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, the podcast. We are live in the living color. The Corey C in the house with my main man, Ken Clark. What's up, Ken?
What's going on, brother? Tiger Nation. It's a great day to be a JSU Tiger, man. Good morning. Good morning, man. Let's get it. How everybody feeling out there? We got some comments already. We got some comments already rolling. I know this is see, I know this, we've been going live for a little while, but I know, the Corey C, we got him to go live on from the podcast, and we're gonna chime in from some of the fans and alums that's gonna be making comments, and hopefully you guys are ready to rock and roll, man. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, I mean, my phone has been blowing up nonstop for the past 7 to 10 days. I just turned it off. And if you're watching this live right now and I hit that ignore when you called me or I didn't respond to your text, I'm sorry, but it's just been overwhelming. Getting the same question over and over. We kind of knew what was going on the inside, but obviously we can't share a whole lot. But we were just waiting for it to become official. And I think it dropped a little bit prematurely. The word started to get out, but we want to make sure that we officially bring the news to you. No questions. No more questions, no more wondering. It is official. It actually has dropped from the university now. Coach T.C. Taylor has been named as the 22nd head coach of the Jackson State University Football Tigers, and we are excited. How you feeling about it, Ken?
Man, I'm ecstatic about it, honestly. I feel like, knowing TC and just kind of being around him, I can't wait to get a chance to talk to him so he can kind of tell his own story. But I feel like this was, us getting a chance to kind of talk to A.D. Robinson and, pick his brain a little bit. And he's, bounced a few ideas off. Not that he consults with us. We got a great athletic director. But when you talk about hiring a new coach that's going to be replacing our 21st Jackson State head football coach, Coach Prime, who's on his way out for a great opportunity to take over at Colorado, some big shoes to fill, right? So we've had a fun, past 2 years, Corey. It's been on and popping.
Exactly 2 years. If you think about it, he officially took over on December 4th. He was announced September 21st, 2020, but officially December. So here we are, December. So exactly 2 years.
So yeah, when you think about what we've been able to accomplish from a football standpoint, and you think about what Coach Prime and his staff has been able to do, T.C. Taylor has been on the staff, and he was able to be offensive coordinator for a few games last season, and then this season come in as the wide receivers coach and a Blur Nation. That's what they deem themselves to be, and we're truly proud, man. It's a great day to be a JSU Tiger. We know how prepared and how long he's waited and has desired this opportunity to be the head coach at his alma mater, and I can't wait to get a chance to talk to him. And I know it's an emotional day for us at Jackson State. It's emotional because like I said, we're thankful for what Coach Prime was able to accomplish, and we're excited for the next chapter under head coach T.C. Taylor. So soon we'll be joined by him, and I'm excited to talk to him and get the first reaction. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, get used to saying head coach T.C. Taylor, right? And as Ken said, we are expecting him to join us any minute now. We're just waiting for him to join the live feed. So, but obviously we see the comments, any questions that you have, definitely keep them coming. We'll have him on to answer those questions. But from a standpoint of everything that we know about this hire, this situation, we know there's some question marks, and there were other names out there and expectations that people wanted and hoped for. But based on the information, and obviously we've been able to speak with A.D. Robinson at some point. We'll bring him on the show as well. But again, we are excited about it based on the what went on with the interview, based on Coach Taylor's plan, his preparation. I just feel like this is something that he has truly been preparing for his entire life. His time is now. And fans, what we have to do is very important. We have to get behind this hire. We have to get behind this hire. It's very important. Fan support is extremely important. Obviously, financially, making sure that we're contributing to be able to have the things that we want. The players, it's all about the players. It's all about the student athletes, right? And our Coach Taylor will be the first person to tell you that. So it doesn't matter who the head coach is, no matter how you feel about how the situation ended with Coach Prime, no matter who you expected or wanted to be the head coach. T.C. Taylor is our coach. We have to rally behind him because what we want to do every single Saturday during football season is what? Win. Every single Saturday. So we have to put emotions to the side. We have to rally around the players, the team. Coach A.D. Robinson, trust his decision making. I don't think he's missed on a head coach yet. We've talked about his track record of the coaches that he's hired, from a Dooley, Willie Simmons, obviously Coach Prime. Those were Ashley Robinson's decisions. So was this one. He knows what he's doing. We trust him. He vetted a number of candidates thoroughly. And I know we got a lot of what's taking so long. What's taking so long? It's been how many days since the announcement was made from Coach Prime? Ken, it was 6-7 days.
It's been a lot of questions, man. And you covered a lot, Corey. I think the biggest thing that Tiger Nation needs to understand is that there's only one Coach Prime, man.
There's only one. He's one of one.
He's one of one, and I think we can celebrate his accomplishments, wish him all the best, and also not put all those expectations for TC to try to live up to the hype of a Coach Prime. Just a persona, a personality that walks in the room and just gravitates towards you. So we've seen the chatter. We've seen a lot of what people might have wanted. And the thing you don't want to run into is you don't want to make a mistake of trying to reach, because you're not going to reach out and grab that. You're not going to reach out and grab a Coach Prime again, even if you try to go with a big name or whatever the case may be. And like you said, we'll have A.D. Robinson on so he can speak to some of the candidates that he had a chance to speak with for this great opportunity and kind of what went into some of his decisions. So I love what you said. It's on us now. This is one of our own. If you got behind Jackson State football because Coach Prime was the head coach, this is all the more reason to get more behind Jackson State, because now we have a Jackson State True Blue alum taking over the football program. So he played for Jackson State. He knows what success looks like. He's been a part of several winning programs. He has a very storied, long track record and resume. So we can't wait for him to sit down and just kind of speak to his resume for those that may not be familiar with it. But like you said also, Corey, it's about the players. It's about continuity. We're 12-0. We request to be 13-0, the greatest football season we've ever had in the history of Jackson State football. We're looking to complete that, like Coach Prime said, focus and finish. And then we're going to start a new chapter. And then when you think about that, anytime you got a team that's 12-0, going in with a chance to be 13-0, back-to-back Celebration Bowl appearances, back-to-back SWAC championships, you want to try to keep as much of that core in place, Corey. And what we're used to in Jackson, we used to running coaches off, firing coaches or coaches not doing well, and then that's when we have to start over. But this is a different kind of hire, right? This is a different kind of situation. We're in success mode, so we have to look for a successor that's going to be able to solidify a great staff, try to stabilize the program and keep as much in-house as possible, so we can continue to put our foot on the necks of the SWAC, right?
And
so.
One thing about Coach Taylor is that he's hungry, and this is his alma mater. He bleeds blue. It's not just a job for him; it's personal, right? It's a difference. It's a difference. So typically when you have a coach, the lifespan of a coach in college football is short these days. Long gone are the days of Eddie Robinson, W.C. Gordon, so on and so forth. Typically, especially on this level, we're talking FCS, we're talking HBCU, we're talking SWAC. Coach Prime has stated it that he was quote unquote elevated. No matter how you feel about that, we're not going to get into that, right? That's not the point. But he was elevated, right, to the FBS level. So if you have success on a lower level, such as the FCS SWAC, you're going to be sought after, right? Other programs are going to want your services. So and if you dominate to the extent that Coach Prime has dominated, people are going to want you, right? Just like at your job, right? Where you guys work now. If you quote unquote dominate at your job, you're going to have an opportunity to, or for promotion or raise, whatever the case may be, go to a larger company. So if we want to continue that level of excellence and dominate, we have to be prepared for other schools to want our coach. It's going to continue to happen, right? Or it can be the reverse. So a stint or tenure of a coach now can be short for a couple of reasons. If he's very successful, he's going to be sought after. And if he stinks up the joint, guess what? He's going to be let go in 2 or 3 years. So the way I look at it, no matter what, every 2 or 3 years, we could possibly be looking for another coach. So I'd rather be great. Right? Obviously, I'd rather be great in the meantime, but we have a very unique opportunity situation here with Coach TC Taylor. If we get behind him and give him support that he needs, and he's dominant and successful, because again, this is he's from Macomb. He went to South Pike, family's there, wife's from the area. This is home, right? And for someone who lived in Florida for 17, 18 years being from Mississippi, I know what it's like. Ken, he's on the West Coast. I know what it's like when you have kids and they don't grow up around their cousins, and you can't go see grandma every weekend for Sunday dinner, things of that nature. It's something special about being home. So if Coach Taylor is successful and other schools come after him, now I have no idea what he would do. And I know we're going down the line 2-3 years, but I just want to paint a picture and put something into perspective for you, right? We have the potential to retain a successful coach a lot longer because of that X factor of being home. It's harder to leave home as opposed to a Coach Prime who has no ties to Jackson, and he was afforded an opportunity and he took it, right? But again, Coach Taylor, with him being tied to the school, the area, the state, family, there's just something there that may keep you home if you have opportunity, even if the money's greater in that other place. So again, let's get behind him. Let's make sure that he has everything that we need. Let's be positive. Let's stay positive. What you guys do and say on social media, you have to remember, like social media, especially Twitter, it's a public platform. Anybody can see it. Never know who's seeing those tweets. Never know what players are seeing those tweets. We talk to players all the time. They see it. So we have to remain positive for those guys as well.
That's a great point. I think one thing I'll just kind of build on is the support, getting behind Coach TC Taylor, right? So Coach Prime being our head football coach we were privy to seeing a lot of things that we have hoped to see. It was a lot of things that happened fast. He gave us a blueprint of success, a blueprint when it comes to marketing the program and fan support, fan engagement, all that we've always historically been doing. But I'll say this, it's now on us now, right? It's on us. I would say my challenge to Tiger Nation is that if we average 42,000 fans in the vet in 2022, we should be looking to average 45, right? If we sold 8,000 season tickets, we should be selling over 10 this in 2023. So it's going to say a lot about us if our support dwindles down now that Coach Prime is going off and now TC takes over. So again, I challenge all True Blue Jacksonians, Jackson State Tigers, new fans, old fans, and all. We got to go harder now. And TC's success is our success, and we should want to get behind this hire and do everything we can to support. Whether that be donating, whether it be, like I said, buying tickets, showing up, continue to buy merch, continue to speak positivity, when you have the opportunity to do the other, So it's a great day, man. And it's a lot to cover, a lot to unpack. I know we're going to come back later with the whole crew, the whole Tiger Talk crew, so everybody can get their takes on this. And it's going to be something that goes on and on for really for the whole entire offseason until we get to Atlanta next season, where we open up with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, Jack State versus South Carolina State in Atlanta for 2023, beginning of the football season. So a lot to happen, but right now it's great that we are able to deem who our next head coach is, make it official so we know who's in-house, and now we can get down to the business of recruiting. And I think recruiting starts in-house first. And what greater way to have an inside scoop than have someone in-house that can go and speak with the players, because we love our JSU Tigers, Corey, and we want every Tiger that wore a Jackson State uniform, that has eligibility, that's not gonna hit the portal. We want them to stay, and we want them to remain Tigers, because we feel and as well as AD Robinson and Coach TC Taylor feel that we can sustain and maintain this level of success and dominance. And I'm encouraged. So love the energy around it. And let's just see what happens. I mean, like I said, we're looking forward for him to come on and at any moment, and we'll see what he thinks about it.
Yeah. You said a lot. I would say this is an important hire from a standpoint of the momentum that we have. It's going to be crucial for us to not take a step back, right? To carry that over. Now, we've stated this. We all know it. There's only one Deion Sanders. So you're going to take a step down just in terms of visibility, national brand, just everything that comes with it. But we can also capitalize on the momentum with the right hire, which we are confident that we've made, with the fan support, with the right correct decisions going forward, because we still have that momentum, right? I was joking with our guys, Ken and you guys last night when that ESPN dropped that breaking news that TC Taylor would be named the head coach. I said, we're still in the news. We're still on ESPN. We're still getting that love, right? So 2 years ago, ESPN wouldn't have dropped that news that Coach TC Taylor was our coach. Let's just be honest. So we still have the eyes on us. We still have the national attention. We have players who still want to play for Jackson State. Coach Prime can't take everybody. He can't recruit everybody, right? So and there's still a movement going on. There's just this confidence among a lot of the top flight athletes in terms of being able to go to an HBCU and still reach their goals, their dreams of making it to the NFL. So from a recruiting standpoint, I know that's a concern for a lot of fans. If you follow Twitter, if you're just in the know, you'll see that players still want to be at Jackson State. The offers are still going out. We'll still be able to get some top flight athletes and some current players as well who may be in limbo or undecided. This decision will sway them to stay at Jackson State. Because one thing I'll say, and if you guys know TC Taylor, he's just a guy who I don't think there's a person on the planet who dislikes TC Taylor. Like, how can you not like him? I've known him since high school. We played basketball against each other in high school, right? And he's just a guy, even as the enemy going against him, he's just a likable guy. And I'm not kidding you, right? And when I found out he was going to Jackson State, I was like, oh, wow, that's great, man. I like that guy. Right? So the players, and if you follow Twitter, they are not shy about saying it. We want TC. In TC we trust. I hope it's TC. I'll stay if it's TC. So he has the players' vote of confidence. He has the AD's vote of confidence. He has the president's vote of confidence. He has Coach Prime's vote of confidence. So now he needs whose vote of confidence? The fans.
Tiger Nation.
Tiger Nation.
So, yeah, I think when you think about that, many people, may think they know what goes into Coach Prime's mind, right? When you have a Coach Prime that announces to the team, he, like I said, he's been very, very, very transparent. A level of transparency we've never really seen from a college football standpoint. And for someone like that to have Coach TC Taylor, be a part of his staff for 2 years, his inaugural coaching debut at Jackson State University, right? Coach TC Taylor had a chance to do the internship with the Tennessee Titans, as well as Coach Otis Ridley, who got a chance to go to the Minnesota Vikings as well. So when you think about that, you have to ask Coach Prime, and I'm looking forward to what he would have to say and why he felt like TC would be the right candidate for this job. And there's a lot to unpack there when you think about a Coach Prime. If you love Coach Prime like we do, and we appreciate him, and we we admire what he thinks about football and his mindset, I think there's a lot there when you think about why he would suggest a TC Taylor, to take over. And I think he understood the moment, and we're left in great hands, man. So, like you said, we got to get behind Coach, and we got to make sure he's elevated coach and bring in great assistants. Yeah, that's actually in motion. I mean, a lot of fans are saying the things that's already happening as if it's not happening. I mean, but when a little bit of information, it's like, let me touch on. Let me.
I brought that comment up because we're going to address it all. There's nothing to run from. The fans, God bless the fans. I'm a fan, right? But blessed to have a little bit more, I guess, insight, if you will. So I get their perspective. When you have no idea, these thoughts enter your mind. But the way the staff is probably already in place. I'll just put it to you that way. Probably, most of it. So when a coach has to interview for a job, he has to show a plan. This is my game plan. This is my offense. This is my defense. This is my recruiting strategy. Here's my staff. I've already talked to this person to be my offensive coordinator. He's ready to roll. I'm negotiating with this person. If I get the job, we can probably get him. So in order for TC Taylor to get this, or any coach to get this job, he has to sit down in front of Ashley Robinson, AD Ashley Robinson, present a plan. It's almost like a business plan, right? If you want that loan from the bank,
absolutely,
you got to present a business plan, right? So it's the same exact thing. So trust me, those things have been talked about. I don't know who, what, but trust me, that's something that's been thought about, talked about long before now. AD Ashley Robinson would not hire TC Taylor or any coach if they didn't have a strong game plan for a staff. So you don't have to worry about that.
So let me do this. And I hope AD Robinson don't slap my hand for this. And I'm not going to say anything. But
it always gets us in trouble. That's why
I'm not in trouble.
Let me say this. That's why he goes. If you notice, Ken goes live on his own channel. I said, Ken, no, you do your Ken Clark YouTube, say whatever you want to say.
Listen. Now this is a serious thing right here. Talking to AD Robinson, right? Because you ask, I mean, you hear the rumblings, you're reading the room, you see the tea leaves, right? And we started at Alcorn. We got a chance to go holler at him and say, what's your thoughts about this, AD? He's like, man, look, I'm always prepared. You touched on that, Corey, when you did a podcast recently. Always prepared, always has a short list of candidates, right? He's never caught, without, right? But when you get to now, the Coach Prime makes the announcement he's going to take the Colorado job, right? Then he says, okay, you know what? Let me interview everyone. There's a lot of interest in this job, a lot of interest, a lot of high profile interest too, for those that might want to wonder who's who and why. So, the thing, Corey, that he did say when he talked about TC, every single time he mentioned TC, he had one word that he always used, and that was hungry. He's like, man, it's hunger. And when you get into the mind of someone like an athletic director, and you want to know what they think about when they're looking to find a coach, that's one of the one things he looks for, Corey, and that's hunger. Is this coach hungry to coach? Is he hungry to win? Is he because he knows that if there's a hunger there, a true desire to really, then that coach is going to do everything necessary to formulate a staff. He's going to go out and recruit the best talent, right, that he possibly can. And he was prepared, man. He was prepared. And let me say it this way. What if I told everybody?
Don't
say too much. I'm just saying, what if I told you that TC, just imagine, what if TC Taylor not only was the best candidate, but he was the most prepared, the most whatever. I'm just saying, think about that. Because this is a profession, right? You have to interview for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're meeting with an athletic director, not some favor, because we don't want to, I'm going to go ahead and debunk that before we even go there.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a buddy hire. This ain't a lazy hire.
It's not a pressured hire.
This is not a pressured hire. That's why I
pressured into making this hire.
Because I saw this, Corey. I saw people say, hey, we was just gonna go with TC, man. Should just did that. We should just announced that and kept rolling. No, that's not how it worked. Because what you have to do is you have to take all the calls, you have to vet all the candidates, you have to shorten it down to a short list, go back to them, go back a third time, maybe even a fourth time. Then you have to discuss it with the leadership of the university. And from there, hey, that's how we got there. So head coach TC Taylor, best candidate for the job. And listen, he's a 22nd head coach that's heading into the next era of Jackson State football. Who's that put a crying emoji up there? Oh, my goodness. Don't get me started. But anyway, I'll let you take it from that, Corey.
I'm sorry. I'm texting to check on the status of Coach Taylor. He's coming on. Just give him time. It was just announced in front of the team. A very emotional scene on the campus of Jackson State University right now in the football facilities. They were ecstatic. I'm sure we'll have video of that, but Coach Taylor he's trying to gather himself right now, right? A lot of emotions. You have to imagine this is a guy who bleeds blue, right? Started at Jackson State in 1997 as a football player. I went on to coach at Kahoma, NC Central. Always wanted to get back to Jackson State. He was hoping that would be in a head coach capacity, but he had to take the long road, right? We always want it right now, but sometimes you have to wait it out. You have to put in the work and keep your faith in God, and things are going to work out in your favor. So you have to imagine this moment for him right now. It's probably just setting in. He's known about this decision, but for it to be announced and for him to see that, I can imagine that reaction from those student athletes who've always been in his corner, who've wanted him as the coach. I can imagine the emotions right now. So we're going to give him a minute. We're going to allow him to gather himself, and then he'll be joining us live.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him briefly, and I'll just share that. Said he patiently waited for a very long time for this opportunity. And I know I didn't think about that, Corey, but when you think about it, I can only imagine knowing the kind of brother that TC is and the emotions that are there. He bleeds blue. Mm-hmm. He bleeds blue, man. And I'll say this, at the end of the day, still got to do the job, right? So, like I said, it's not, like I said, he at this point, you just want to try to, like I said, preserve as much of this Jackson State magic that you see that you're witnessing right now. And then you factor in, it's a Celebration Bowl week, right? Mm-hmm. Then go play North Carolina Central. He won three MEAC He won three MEAC championships on the coaching staff as the offensive coordinator for North Carolina Central. So that may also factor Corey into some of the emotions that's going into this. He's going to go against, a former university that he worked for and coached for and won championships with, and he gets to go Saturday and face that team as a staff, and knowing that regardless to what the results are on Saturday, after that is his show. So truly proud of him, just happy for him. But again, we also know Jackson State. We know how we can be. So we want to get behind coach and support him and just go above and beyond to try to make sure we're doing everything we can from our perspective as a fan and alums to make sure that he's successful and support him. So awesome time.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk to him about his journey. He has wanted this job for a while. He's been, how can I put it, in contention for the position. He's been in the running, I guess, for the position multiple times in the past. Thought he had it, felt he was ready, felt as though he was qualified, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't his time. So again, that probably factors into the emotion. Mike TC could have transferred after Kent was named quarterback, but he worked his way onto the field anyway. So yeah, I mean, for those who don't follow or don't remember, TC Taylor was brought in on the Jackson State signed to Jackson State on the football team as a quarterback, and he waited behind Mark Washington for a year or two. Finally got the nod to become the starter, and Robert Kent actually took over in I think the third game of the season against Tennessee State.
Right.
A lot of people would, and we knew right away Robert Kent was the guy. He was going to be the guy going forward. I don't think it was a question after his first game when he beat Tennessee State in overtime. And I said this on the show, but I distinctly remember. It's funny because that was 21 years ago, 20 years ago, 22 years ago. I literally remember because TC is my guy. So I'm thinking, man, now I love Robert Kent as well and his potential. But I remember saying, man, I feel bad for TC. He's been waiting for this opportunity. And it looks like he's not going to get that job back the way Robert Kent is playing. And when the game ended, I was literally looking for TC. I'm in the stands. I'm looking for TC. I just wanted to see his reaction, his emotion. And I remember him just running around. I'm like, what is he doing? Who is he looking for? He was running around. He sought Robert Kent out, the quarterback, and ran up to him and gave him the biggest hug, high five. He was probably happier than Robert Kent was. So that tells you a lot about him. That tells you he's a team player. And obviously, we know the history from there. He went on to convert over to wide receiver, ended up breaking records, all-time leading, single season receptions, single season yardage. Went on to have professional playing career. Had spent some time with the Patriots, NFL, Europe. Just kind of shows what type of person he is. He's always willing to do the work, do whatever it takes, not give up, persevere, overcome adversity. That's just who he is, right? And you're going to see it with him as a coach. He's going to work hard. So one thing I know we talk about, Ken, was everyone expecting the big name. Follow Deion Sanders up, has to be the big name. But just because you're a big name, that doesn't mean you're willing to put in the work, right? You have to uproot from probably your lavish lifestyle. And Coach Prime did this, so that I think that's why we think everybody else is going to do it. Coach Prime is just such a unique person, man.
He's so different, man.
He's so different. We can't just model or expect that to be the blueprint. That's a one-off. So you have to uproot yourself and your family to Jackson, Mississippi. I'm a Hazelhurst, Mississippi guy, so that's no knock, but Jackson, Mississippi, for the outsider, right? Not for the person who grew up here. You have to put in 16, 17-hour days. Coach Prime was there on Sunday. We know Coach Prime. He loves his NFL, right? But guess what? He used to sacrifice as a coach, and he'll continue to do it, I'm sure. Now that he's moved on. Sundays, what is he doing? Practicing, right? So you can imagine he sacrificed and gave up a lot. Imagine the Deion Sanders lifestyle prior to coaching college football, right? Traveling, doing events, just doing his thing to shut all that down to be a head coach. Not everybody can do that. So some of these big names that you wanted, I don't know if they were willing to do that. I don't know if they were ready to really, understood or understand what this head coaching thing entails on the college level.
Right. So I'll say this, Corey, in conjunction with that, many of us would have been content with Coach TC Taylor becoming the head coach, let's say after we moved on from Coach Tony Hughes, right? But think about it like this. If you were content with the potential of that hire then, imagine having Coach Taylor stay at Jackson State, right, and get to work with Coach Prime and get to see. I think when you really think about what Coach Prime did, many of us don't really appreciate the foundation that's truly been laid under Coach Prime in this new regime and staff, right? But you have some coaches that are going to now stay in the building that got to see it formulate from its grassroots level and from its ground level and now into what it is today. And they know what it looks like. They were in those meetings. They were part of these recruiting visits. They've seen it. So to be a part of that and to be able to carry that on. And here's another thing that I think is very important. You have a coach now that has a relationship with the coach that's exiting the building. that at any given moment he can reach out. They have a relationship. Doesn't matter what you feel about
relationship
Coach. Doesn't
capital.
matter what you think about it. If you don't think relationships matter, then look at
Everything.
Coach Dancy that just got an opportunity to, I know he stepped down from Valley. He's heading over to Boulder with Coach Prime, but that matters in this instance. So to have someone like a Coach T.C. Taylor that was ready and prepared and ready to take over a couple of years ago, but to sit under a Coach Prime and be a part of a back-to-back championship winning staff. Man, look, we won come Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and claim it. Come Saturday, when we finish the season 13-0, Corey, we're going to be 24-2 in 2 years, brother. We ain't worried about the spring season. We know what transpired there. But to be 24-2 and have not only Coach T.C. Taylor, but a few of the other coaches with the potential to stay on staff, it keeps the continuity. It keeps some of those players, and you don't want to see a hard reset. People don't understand the toll it takes on a hard reset for everyone in the building. You got young men who decided to put that jersey on with Jackson State across in front of it, who had these conversations with their families, who are not in a position, they're in the middle of their coursework, right? They're sophomores right now. They don't. And listen, let me say this too. There's 7,000 kids right now, Corey, in the transfer portal. I want y'all to think about that. So every situation isn't necessarily just, okay, things transpire, let me just go run out the door. You owe it to these young men and these families that would like to stay, and they want to see some continuity there. And when they see that, what better person than it'll be, like I said, to put someone like a Coach T.C. Taylor, not put him there, but who earned the opportunity, and not say, you know what, this man right here is ready. He's prepared. He can do all these X, Y things, but let me just go over here and chase this big name, which I'm going to have to literally gut it, because there's potential. There's no guarantee that TC would have stayed at Jackson State University for this opportunity.
And I would understand why.
So if TC leaves the building and every coach on the staff that leaves the building, then guess what? Those relationships with these current players go out the building. And guess what that means, Jackson State? That means a extremely hard reset. And you think it's going to be great just because it's a big name. There are some other coaches that are big names that didn't have the same situation and success as a Jackson State. So we got to make sure that we are careful with those thoughts and think about this thoroughly. And also, if A.D. Robinson is the coach whisperer, and he's this coaching hiring guru, how is it that he's the great on this side, but then when he make a hire that you might necessarily think may or may not be the right decision, now all of a sudden you don't know what he's doing. I'm not saying nobody said that, but I know Jack State. I'm true blue, just like you guys.
And you know they said it. The thing about that is, like I said earlier, God bless the fans. They're not inside. Neither were we. We weren't in the room, but we're fortunate enough to get some information that comes from the room from time to time. So that's why we can be confident and positive about this hire. But if we weren't there, obviously we don't know how the interview process went. The big names that we want or thought would have hoped got the job, we don't know what that interview process was like, if they were prepared, if they were, keyword that kept coming up, hungry. A.D. Robinson has told us that he's never hired a coach who wasn't hungry. So I don't think he's ready to stop that streak now. What the question was posed out, will any of what staff members will be retained? Well, that's a question for Coach Taylor. You can imagine, you can believe he's been doing his due diligence in terms of talking to current coaches on the staff about possibilities to remain. And also Coach Taylor he's been around, right? He started Kahoma when he got over in the MEAC on the East Coast. So we talked about relationships. You tend to build and accumulate so many relationships over the course of a career. And he had an internship with, who was it, Ken? Was it Tennessee?
Tennessee Titans.
So he's well connected. Had a stint, obviously, even in the NFL. I know that goes back a long time, but NFL Europe. So we're talking about a guy who's been in the game for 20 years and from a professional standpoint, whether it's playing or coaching. So if you've been in the same industry at work for 20 years, imagine the relationship capital that you will have built up. And imagine if you got an opportunity to run your own company, you think you'd have a Rolodex of people, the top people that you've networked with over the course of those 20 years, to bring them into your company and offer them a promotion, guys, people that you believe in and trust. So it's the same here. So obviously there'll be some staff members who will leave. There'll be some who will stay. Same for the players. Some will stay, some will leave. And I will tell you this, of the players who are undecided, this announcement will definitely be favorable for Jackson State. Some of them will decide to stay because of this hire.
And I think that's important because it's tough to be. So when you're transitioning, I say this all the time, it's tough to be in limbo. It's too much uncertainty. You see things moving around you. I say this, I'm happy we're going to the Celebration Bowl because I think the Celebration Bowl has allowed the team to stay impact. You know what I mean? While AD Robinson had a chance to vet out all the coaches and make a decision that was best for the university. We are in the heart of the early signing period, so it's a great time. We might see some recruits that announced that they've committed to Jackson State after today. You know,
let me say this. I got his upside. I love how Kid, he's so humble. He says we might see. Whenever Ken says that, Kid knows something. We will see. It's okay to tell him we will. You don't have to say the name, but just tell him we will see some players commit.
I say it this way: expect to see some commitments after this decision. So I mean that, you know, I think Tiger Nation is going to get excited, and I think once you start seeing the momentum build up again, and I think that's going to be good for those because we have some sort of idea of the direction we're going. I think it's fun, man. I said it's about to get fun now, Corey. This is what we do. This is what we do. You know, this is one of the greatest reasons to have a platform like a Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, which allows us to come on and talk about it, right? So we know he's going to formulate his staff. It's going to be announced officially, right? And everybody's going to go. This is what's going to happen, Corey. When they find out who's who, everybody's going to run to Google. They're going to research him, and all of a sudden they're going to become an expert on this coach. And they're going to say, oh, so we're going to go through this again based off every single position that's hired. Oh, he should have did that. He should have done that, right? But, you know, that's how we do. And that's why I call it fun. Then we get into the recruiting aspect of that. I want people to realize something. Under Coach Prime, we saw a lot of firsts. Historically, we weren't signing a lot of kids in December, really in HBCUs, period, or FCS for the most part. You wasn't seeing a lot of young men commit on the FCS level early. Now that's kind of changed. So now you have three different elements now. You have an early signing period, which is extremely aggressive now. You have the transfer portal opens in December, right? Then it closes, and then you have the February signing day. So we got a lot of time. But like I said, the first order of business is to name a coach. Know who you're going to be, know who's the leader going to be, know who's going to stay. And I can guarantee you that those players know far more than what we know, right? And now they get to make those decisions. They get to go into the Celebration Bowl with a chance to be with their brothers, be around the whole team. The whole band is back together again. They're going to travel to Atlanta. They're going to get a chance to talk about it. And they got time to mull over it. And guess what also has a time, Corey? The coach has time to be around the players. So those players that he's talking to that might be on the fence about jumping ship, those coaches got all the time in the world to spend time with those players and get them to stay in-house because that's the first order of business. We want our JSU football Tigers to remain Tigers, right? And then if we can keep that, now they know what to build on and how to go about to formulate a great recruiting strategy because that's one of the gripes, Corey, that many are saying, well, you go with this big name, it's going to help with recruiting. Well, we get to keep the recruiter in-house, man, the director of player personnel. And I know there's more to it. And, you know, it's going to be more to come. So this is a fun time right now. So be excited today. We now know which direction we're going. It's official. And now we can really talk about it and really break down, the nuts and bolts of the whole decision.
Absolutely. And I just got a message. Coach T.C. Taylor will be joining us soon, very shortly. He's actually preparing to log on as we speak. So hang tight. We appreciate everyone for joining us in the middle of the day. We apologize for the confusion yesterday. The announcement was originally for 3:00 and we put that out. It spread like wildfire. And we got word from Jackson State. They said 11:00. So we had to adjust. Ken Clark, he did some things at work. Like
I had to move things around.
I hope Ken Clark still has a job. I heard Ken Clark on the phone calling his boss saying, "Hey, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow." It's the craziest thing I ever saw. He didn't say, "Hey, maybe I can." He said, "So this is what I'm going to do. So tomorrow, at this time, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this from the house." And he's calling the shot. So.
Yeah, man. No. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody, right? But here's the thing.
Don't get in trouble.
I got my whole, I had to change. I had a Zoom call and had to switch up. I had my hat and my shirt because I got my Jackson State. This is why I put this one on, Corey, because you know what that means.
The block.
You might see that red face mask come back, y'all. I know we ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna get you too excited, but.
And that gives me chills. That gives me chills.
Yeah, man. That's it. Like I said, we got a true blue Tiger taking over, man. I'm so pumped up. I'm so excited. Like I told him, I'm excited to sit down with Coach in Atlanta this week and just talk to him. And he just joined us. There he is.
Clark.
There he
Let's
is. There he
go.
is.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
What's up?
Let's
Go,
go.
Coach.
What's up, man? How y'all
Head
doing?
coach, man. TC Taylor, man.
Head
Congratulations, Coach. Man,
TC
truly proud
Taylor.
of you, man.
I
I
appreciate
know
it.
it's emotional. I'm gonna shut up and let you rock, man. But I just want to say, man, I'm so happy for you, man. I ain't gonna cry, man. I'm happy for you, though, bro.
Have you
Happy
cried
for
yet?
you.
Have you cried
A
yet?
little bit, man. That's why it took me a second to get here, just to meeting with those players just then and then making that announcement. AD Robinson making that announcement, and just the emotion that went through me, and see the excitement on their faces, and just the way I feel about this program, this brand, and who we are as a program, man. It's a lot going on right now in my head, man. So I'm excited.
Man, I can imagine.
I'm glad I picked the right hat, man. And let's see, I told you, man. I tried to tell him, man. See, I know what I'm talking about, Coach. No, but for real though, Coach. Congratulations, first and foremost. We spent the last 35 minutes, and I know they about tired of us talking, but just kind of, in your own words, just let Tiger Nation know, how you feel, if you can, to the best of your ability, and as far as getting this opportunity. And we know that it's been a long time coming. It's been a dream come true. You truly are prepared and been waiting for this moment. Was prepared a while ago, but now you find yourself in a situation where that dream has now become a reality. Yeah. And we just kind of want to, give Tiger Nation whatever you got. We'll just go there.
I mean, if you know me, man, you know how I feel about Jackson State and this program, this city. Jackson is my heart. Grew up a fan here of Jackson State. That's why I decided to come here and play the game. And then once just getting into coaching, this was always the dream. This was always it, to get an opportunity to come back and just be able to help this program out any way I can. And that's how I always looked at it, and to have the opportunity to be the 22nd head coach here, I mean, it's unbelievable right now. It's just, I'm still just kind of taking it all in. But, I always said, like, God orders my steps. I always let him order the steps. I'm gonna remain humble. I'm gonna put in the work, and that's why I'm able to stand before you now as the head coach of this program.
Absolutely. And Coach, we know you've wanted this job in the past. You've been a candidate for this job a couple times in the past. We can talk about it. Coach Hendrick, we love Coach Hendrick, what he did for our student athletes, what he did for the program. But he became interim head coach a couple seasons back for the last 3 games. And I know you were kind of looking at that. If they were going to hire a permanent head coach, you wanted your name in the mix. And I know your name was in the mix, but of course, Hendrick was made the permanent president, permanent head coach at the time. You came and joined his staff, right? A year or so later, his contract wasn't renewed, and you were actually put in a position to kind of lead the team in the meanwhile, while we were searching for a coach. You and Coach O, I think you were the interim, so you were running the day-to-day operations, and I know you were hoping and anticipating to potentially get the job again for a second time. But then here comes Deion Sanders out of nowhere. I don't think anybody was expecting that, but you were able to remain on the staff with him again. So those 2 things, first and foremost, for 2 coaches who you didn't have a relationship with to keep you on the staff or bring you on the staff, that says a lot about you. First and foremost. But 2-part question: how devastating was that for you? How much was that of a setback that you feel that was those 2 times that where you were, I don't want to say passed over, but you didn't get the job? And then the second part of the question: how much more are you prepared this time around, especially after 2 years of working alongside Coach Prime?
Yeah, well, both kind of tie in. My answer is going to tie in both of those questions. Like I said earlier, God always had the plan, and I always followed it. I never got frustrated. I knew this opportunity would present itself, and I was always grateful to be a candidate, just to be a candidate of a prestigious program like Jackson State. I think it was a blessing, though, to be able to be a part of both staffs, to see how things run campus wide, and just see how logistically everything operates on campus. And then once Coach Prime got in here, and to see some of the things that he was doing to elevate this program, and the type of players we were bringing in here to help get us to this point, 12-0, and finna be 13-0 coming this weekend, and 2-time SWAC champ, and finna go get this first national title this year. So it was a blessing in disguise, just to be able to sit behind the scenes a little bit, take it all in, and learn and develop as much as I can. And now, I'm in a position to kind of stay on the gas. You know what I'm saying? Just keep my foot on the pedal.
Keep your foot on that gas.
keep my foot on the pedal, and the expectation, the expectation is to win and dominate, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
So, Coach, let me ask you this, man. So we it's been kind of this past 2 years have just been amazing. We really appreciate Coach Prime and what he's been able to come on and do at our university and winning. And we win the SWAC championship. He sits down and he meets with the team, right? He wants to. We've never seen a coach that has been as transparent as a Coach Prime, probably in the history of college football. He let everybody in the room see everything we're doing, right?
Right.
But when you have Coach Prime sitting up there, and he says, my recommendation is for TC Taylor. Like, talk about what that felt like. Because I said, man, that to have someone like Coach Prime to give you the greatest endorsement in front of the entire world, not just Tiger Nation, because we know he got a big platform. Everybody saw that.
Right.
Just speak about what that felt like for you to get that nod from the head coach that was on the way out the door.
My hard work was not going unnoticed. When Coach Prime got in here a couple of years ago, he didn't know me. He didn't have to let me be a part of his staff. And once he allowed me a position on the staff, I said, I'm just going to show him, how I approach the game day to day. How do I mentor these student athletes? Be good with the X's and O's as a football coach. But for him to say that day, that just let me know that my work wasn't going unnoticed. And I approach it like that every day. I get here early every day. I try to beat everybody to the building. I'm gonna work my butt off, and it just pays off. But that meant a lot to hear him say that.
And the players as well, but they really campaigned for you on Twitter. Yeah. Very, they didn't keep it a secret. They let it be known that they wanted Coach Taylor, especially that wide receiver group. I mean, they were very, very vocal.
Bird Nation.
What did that mean to see that support from them?
I just mean that I was treating them right on a day-to-day basis, and that's what I tried to do, try to groom them to be young men and let them know what the real world is like. And that speaks volumes to me when you got young men that come up and speak out and vouch for you like that. Just let me know I was doing my job as a coach, and that's mentoring is a big piece of that. A lot of people see a lot of the touchdowns and all this stuff going on the football field, but don't really realize what these kids go through on a day-to-day basis. What they're dealing with back at home, and the counseling and sitting down and having a talk with them behind the scenes. And that's what I always let them know. My door is always open. We laugh, we talk, we cry, and we're going to fix it. And then, we're going to do what we got to do to get you out there on that football field to be successful.
So, Coach, next order of business, man, we got to finish. I know that's the word of the week. We got to finish. I love what I got a chance to see you stand up before the team and let them know, listen, we got you. You had the seniors stand up, and then you had everybody else stand up and say, we're going to go bust our behinds for that group right there. We owe it to them that we're going to finish and we're going to go get this national championship, and then we're going to build on that momentum. Speak to us a little bit about just the reaction, though, when it became official. I know you talked about it. It took you a little time to get together. And we made, hey, look, we're gonna go scour the internet. We want to see, whatever content's out there. Right? But just kind of in your own words, man. Just give us kind of a peep under the tent of just what that looked like, and was it a surprise? Like, what did they bring you in and introduce you to the team? Like just kind of paint a picture for us a little bit if you can.
Eddie Robinson and Coach Prime did a good job of setting that whole deal up. I was sitting in the back of the room. The players were kind of anticipating what's about to happen here. So they did a good job of setting it up. But once it was announced, man, it went crazy. It was crazy in the room. A lot of energy. Guys running up to me, jumping, and they just come off the football field. So now I'm smelling like them. But a lot of emotion. It was a lot of emotion, and I had an opportunity to address the team, and it was hard to hold it all in. It was hard to hold it all in, and it was good to see the support and the way that team feel about me. It speaks a lot, and that's still going through my mind. That whole moment, you can't never get that back. So I can't wait to see it myself. Because to be in that moment like that, and then to hear your name called as the next head coach here of this program. It's unbelievable right now.
So talk to us about the past 7 to 10 days for you. What's that's been like? Obviously, the official announcement came from Coach Prime Saturday night after the game. So we know that you wanted a job. So your mindset went there and potentially interviewing, but obviously also focusing on a game that's coming up
Right.
and then recruiting, right? With us technically not having a head coach and recruiting kind of potentially coming to a halt. Kudos to you and Coach O, because we see those offers still going out. Right.
Definitely.
You didn't have to do that because you don't know if you're going to be retained if you aren't the head coach, and B, you don't know if you'd be the head coach, but you continue to recruit while trying to, obviously interview for the job or whatever that process was like. So talk about those past 7 to 10 days.
The past 7 to 10 days, for one thing, I focused on this weekend, and I made sure our players was focused on this weekend. I did not want them to be, coach, you're going to be the guy and all this. No, we're focused on North Carolina Central. We'll let the administration handle that part. The next thing for is the recruiting piece. It was just like, if I'm showing up to work here and I'm representing this J on my hat, I still have to bust my butt and get the best players in here. And then there's still a lot of kids out there that want to be a part of this. And I'm talking about high caliber kids. And, I just continued to do the job, and I never lost track of that. I let the administration, AD Robinson, President Hudson, they did an excellent job, in the whole process. And I just allowed them to handle that and just stay focused on winning this one this weekend and continue to go out and try to get the best players available, and continue to sell our program and let them know, we're going to continue to dominate.
So, Coach, we got about 700 people looking at our face right now. They know it's live, right?
All right.
And for many of us, we treat Jackson State like Jackson State is to serve us as fans. Things don't go how we wanted to go. We get emotional. We got our Facebook, social media has given everybody a platform to speak.
Right.
I have a question for you, and I'm serious about this question because I feel like, you have an opportunity now to let Tiger Nation know what you need from us. Because I think that's important, right? We have a part to play in this, and I have a challenge to the Tiger Nation. If we averaged 42 last year, I said we should average 45 next season. When we sold 8,000 season tickets, I want us to get over 10, right? So my question to you is, and I know this may be loaded, and it's probably going to be something we're going to unpack for a long time, but just kind of in your own words, from a support, just engagement, just everything. What do you need from Tiger Nation? Because your success, Coach, is our success, and we're just as invested in you winning and being successful because you represent us. And I have to ask that because I feel like that's important right now.
No doubt. For Tiger Nation, we just got to continue with that. You said the first thing with attendance. Right now we're one of the hottest brands out there, and I think it starts with that the support of the fans and continuing to support this football team and the brand of Jackson State. Not only just football, all the sports here, and this campuses in a whole, and also too just giving. Man, we got to be able to give. That's the main thing right now to be able to donate, give back to this program, and so we can continue to grow. And when we like what's been going on with the recruiting, I mean, that's been a beautiful thing. You sit up and you offer a kid, and just to see the droves of people that come out and swamp these kids, and these kids see that. Let me say that these kids see that, and they appreciate it, and they love it, and they want to be a part. So, the giving, like you said, the continue to support these football games, and understand that these kids are, busting their tails on a day-to-day basis. So I think those things like that will pay volumes for us going forward as a program.
Absolutely. And just from a recruiting standpoint, I know that's one of the, I don't want to say concerns, but that's on the minds of the thoughts of a lot of the fans at the forefront is what I was trying to say. So obviously we had a lot of momentum with the recruiting. We have a lot of momentum. Just what's your expectation in terms of continuing that momentum, continuing to go after high caliber kids, and what do you expect their reaction to be to you and whoever you decide to keep on your staff and bring onto your staff as well?
I think that a lot of recruits have just been waiting to see, who's going to be the guy. Like since everything's been kind of announced, I'm getting a lot of hits from some high quality recruits right now. I can't really that, but and that's understanding that's the block, that's the brand, that's the J.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, and that's what we're going to continue to do, and we're going to continue to recruit. We're looking for the best out there to continue to win championships. Nothing's going to change that. And, we got a signing day coming up here soon. We're going to have some pretty good names to announce, I think, here real soon. So we're going to continue to go out and look for the best. As far as coaching, I'm going to go out there and get the best coaches available. I got a few guys in mind. I can't really say their name until I get some pen and paper, but we're going to continue this. We want to continue this, and I appreciate and love the expectation of the everybody. We expect to win.
Right.
Nothing changed with that, and we're going to walk into these stadiums with our chest out and expect to win football games, and we're going to continue to recruit the best athletes and coaches here to continue all that.
Great stuff, man. I'm a recruiting guy. I'm here for you. I'm trying to plug you with everybody I can get, right? You know how we do, Coach. But
Oh yeah.
back to this though. Change gears real quick. I know we won't keep you much longer.
You good.
You're going to Atlanta, and one day you get to face that. I don't want to say your alma mater, but your old stomping ground. Where you did some head busting over there in the MEAC. Won three MEAC championships. And talk about how that feels, man, that to be named head coach at Jackson State University, and you're going to the Celebration Bowl to play against North Carolina Central, where you had your last, you know what I'm saying, appearance in the Celebration Bowl prior to last season.
Yeah.
Talk about what that feels like and, what that means to you.
Central has a special place in my heart. I'm just being honest with you. We won 3 championships there, played in my first Celebration Bowl there, and I'm really around some good players and good coaches that are dear friends to me today. But it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. With everything that went on today, getting on the plane tomorrow and heading to Atlanta to play North Carolina Central. It's going to make for a magical weekend.
Yes,
I got good friends on both sides, family on both sides. So I'm really looking forward to it. You can't write a better script than, what's going on right now. And it's just all unbelievable. And my family's excited. Everybody's excited about the whole deal. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. I just can't wait.
And one thing I want to ask you, I definitely want you to address this for the fans before we let you go. Just talk about the mindset of the team, especially given the circumstances with the announcement, things being, in limbo. Obviously, if you're a young student athlete, kind of emotions can be all over the place and can easily lose focus on the task at hand, which is the game coming up. So how has that mindset of the team been over the past 7 to 10 days as we head into this Celebration Bowl?
They feel that hurt, that burn that we experienced last year, and we never forgot that. You know what I'm saying? I tell people to see last year, to see that other team celebrate under that confetti, we never forgot about that. And that's been the focus. With everything that's been kind of going on, we never lost focus of what we got at stake this weekend and what that national championship will mean to Jackson State as a program. And they locked in. They're locked in. They understand the task at hand. So we're going to go out here and, like I said, tomorrow we're going to get on that plane and we're going to take care of business this weekend. But no distractions. Everybody been pretty much locked in and ready to go for this weekend. I can't wait.
Hey, man, I don't want to keep you much longer, Coach. I think I asked just about everything I had really and truly on my heart. I look forward to sitting down speaking with you when I get to Atlanta.
Okay.
Got a couple of things we just want to wrap with you about, but from recruiting and all that good stuff, just and fun, man. Just celebrate, man. It's a celebration, man. It's a great day to be a JSU Tiger. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told you when I text you, bro. Proud of you, bro. Love you, man. I'm happy for you, and I know you the man for the job, and we got your back, bro. We got your back. So let's hey, to the SWAC. We ain't letting up, man. I know they was hoping something. I don't know what they thought, but
no, no breaks. Hashtag.
No breaks. You know what time it is.
Hashtag. We're gonna guard the yard, baby.
Okay. Guard the yard.
Hashtag. Guard the yard. I like that.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Coach, proud of you, man. Congratulations, Coach TC Taylor. Everybody, appreciate you coming on Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. We'll be back later today with the whole crew reacting to the news today, man. So thank you, Coach. We'll be in touch, man. All the best to you.
We appreciate it, Coach. Obviously, we go way back to the high school days. So proud of you. Watch your journey from a player on up through the ranks, coaching, JUCO, working your way up. And I couldn't be any happier for you, proud of you. I know what this moment means for you. You have our support. Anything you need, Tiger Talk 1400 Club, we got you. And the fans will rally around you. You better believe it.
I appreciate that and appreciate everything y'all do, man. That's not going unnoticed, man. Let's keep that going, man. Keep that energy going, man, and go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right.
Tigers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. So everybody that's in here, before you log off, make sure y'all do us a favor, man. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, hit the like button, hit the follow buttons, hit the subscribe button, and be sure to turn your notification bells on Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, because anytime we bring you content and drop videos for you, you'll be notified. So thank everybody for coming on. Like I said, we're going to be back on live.
Definitely. We're coming back. The content it's going up. It's going up. 2023 Tiger Talk is going to be a big year, as it will be for Jackson State. Ken Clark, this is our 3-year anniversary as we speak, coming up in about 2 days of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, man. Time
After
flies.
3 years, brother. I know people think Tiger Talk popped up on the scene with Coach Prime. Although we love Coach Prime.
We love Coach Prime, but
2019, man, and it's been a fun ride, and just to see the evolution of the podcast, and I can't wait to get on with Zoe and Mike B and Shaq and the whole crew and everybody that that you guys see all the time later on. So make sure you guys come back on later today. We're gonna try to basically do some interacting with the comments. Keep it classy, y'all. Keep it. No bull jump. But at the same time, man, we appreciate it. That was fun, man. That was fun, bro. But guess what, Corey? I got to go to work, man.
I know, man. We hope you still have a job.
If
not, we'll make sure TC gets you on that staff.
Recruiting. All right, y'all. Go Tigers. I'll see y'all later.
All right.